Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. This is a special presentation. Rams at Bucs. Live call-in show will be today, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Be there. Let's get this money. And listen, last week when I did Zona at Rams, I lost like 7 subscribers because I had to come on here and I had to yell from the rafters, Rams will win and cover, and it's an easy bet. This is no easy bet, but I'm going Rams to win and to cover on the road. And everyone knows I'm one of the biggest Tom Brady fans there is. Tom Brady's an iconic class, and we know how damn good he is, but I'm looking at the matchups, and I just see this favoring the Rams, and we're all forgetting. I don't know if you guys visited that stadium in Tampa. It's not the worst place to go play on the road if you're a road team. It's not hostile. It's not loud. It's a little bit hot, but you kind of want that heat now instead of freezing your ass off in Wisconsin. So when I'm looking at this game, my first matchup is Brady versus the Rams D. And Brady, we know he's going to do what he needs to do. I think he has a huge second half, but I also think he starts rather slow. I'm worried about the right tackle position. Wirfs, pretty much, if he plays, he's going to be on one leg. And we saw what Kerrigan did to his replacement. I think that is an extremely vulnerable place for the Buccaneers to be. And for all the talk about like Vaughn last week, man, he really didn't run the rock all that well. I mean, Tampa ran it for what, 3.4, 3.7 yards a carry? It wasn't anything to write home about. And with Donald Von Miller peaking at the right time, I feel like the Rams got this matchup, even though we know the Bucs have a top 3 offensive line in football. Their interior is absolutely legit and ferocious, but I think they line up Von Miller on the right side, put Leonard on the left side, and Donald's going to be moving wherever he wants, and they better put Donald in 7-5-3-1 technique. Put him everywhere. Make this Bucs offensive line gas. And then you talk about Jalen Ramsey, and I think he takes away Mike Evans. If I'm McVay, I'm putting Ramsey on Mike Evans. Don't leave that man. And then let's see what Gronk can do. Let's see what Scotty Miller, Perryman can do. And I don't know if they can do a whole lot. We saw Brady. He put Gronk in the doghouse against Carolina, put him in for like 2 weeks, and that's when they still had Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown's not walking through that door. Chris Godwin's not walking through the tunnel on Sunday, and I just feel like Brady might have a lack of weapons. Now we know Leonard Fournette could be back, and he needs to be great in this game. If Fournette plays, he needs to run it 20 plus times, because that's what you need to do against the Rams, because if they can key off on the pass, they can really get you. And one thing Brady's been doing a lot, we saw last week with Gio Bernard. In previous weeks, we saw him working at the Fournette in the pass game. Ernest Jones can cover, man. And we're here and talk. He might cover Gronk one-on-one. I would put him against the running backs, and I think he wins that battle. This kid is athletic. No one's talking about him. I think he's an X factor in this game. Now, on the other side of the ball, we know Stafford, betting on him is kind of like playing Russian roulette, especially if he's asked to throw it a lot. But I think the addition of Cam Akers, I think it'll smooth some stuff over. I'm not saying the Rams are going to pound the Buccaneers. Todd Bowles' defense, their run fits, they're always great. That's what Todd Bowles does. But I think the Rams will run it just to take pressure off Stafford, and I think they'll be patient with it. I don't think they're going to abandon the run early. McVay has learned his previous lessons. And when I'm looking at this, I'm just saying, man, like, I know the Odell Beckham stuff, it got a little bit boring, it got a little bit annoying, and we can say whatever adjective comes to our minds. But him and Cooper Kupp, I mean, is that fire or is it just me? I mean, I think that might be a better 1-2 punch than Thielen and Jefferson at this point. And Cooper Kupp, we know the stats he put up this year. He didn't even need to do anything against Zona because Higbee and Odell are just taking over games. And I don't know what it is about Odell with the Rams, but it just seems like he's gotten a lifeline and he's looking like the top 10 receiver he was 4 years ago. And this this high-low with Kupp, Beckham. If you're Stafford, it gives you a security blanket. Dump it down to Kupp, and if they keep going down on Kupp, if they try to double Kupp, you slang that shit to Odell deep, and we saw that working, and it makes his reads easier. It makes Stafford less thinking, just two reads. Kupp over here, Beckham deep. If we need it, Higbee crossing the field, and that's what they're going to do. And when I watched the All-22, and I noticed this during Sunday's game against the Eagles-Bucs, and then when I watched the All-22, this Bucs secondary, they weren't winning battles, man. They were playing off coverage, and Devontae Smith was tearing up whoever he was matched up against. My man Hurts was not able to exploit that. The Philadelphia Eagles offensive line wasn't all that great, but we know the Rams offensive line, they're going to play, man. And Whitworth is still one of the better offensive linemen in this league. I worry about the interior of the Rams offensive line a little bit. That's why McVay, I think he goes with a lot of play action. He boots Stafford out to the right 5 or 6 times this game, and I think Stafford has easy dump down options. Cam Akers is an underrated running back catching the ball. Higbee is one of the most underrated tight ends in this league that no one just wants to talk about. I don't really get it. And one thing we know about Tampa, and everyone acts like Tampa has this like dominant tour de force defensive line. Todd Bowles blitzes more than any defensive coordinator in this league. I was surprised to hear it. I was surprised to read the stat. I knew they blitzed a lot, but I was actually surprised to hear that. And I don't know if the Rams are the team to blitz, man. When you got these thoroughbreds on the outside, I didn't even mention Von Jefferson. When you got these thoroughbreds, I don't want to leave Cooper Kupp one-on-one. I don't want Odell working one-on-one with no safety over the top. That's just me. So we'll see if Tampa is able to generate pressure without blitzing. If they do blitz, they might give up 3 or 4 huge chunk plays that can turn this game on the side. And that's one thing I'm worried about Tampa's wide receiving core. Outside of Mike Evans, and if Jalen Ramsey shuts him down, who's going to make the magical play? Who's going to make that 40, 50-yard chunk play that Brady needs? Brady's going to be able to dump it down. Brady's going to be able to put up a 68% completion percentage, but I think a lot of it will be in front of the sticks, man. And if the Rams tackle well, they should be able to win this game. And I know the Brady legend. I know betting against Brady isn't the funnest thing. Then you should just sit on the sideline and let this game play, man. I'm still thinking about whether I'm betting it or not. But I can't go away from what I watched with the film. I just can't do it. And the big question is the Rams run attack. How effective will it be? I don't think they're going to do anything crazy, but I do think the Rams have just a wee bit of run-pass balance. And then with Stafford, I think McVay's going to be careful with Stafford, but eventually he's going to have to rip it. I think we only see 1 turnover from Stafford. I don't think we see the 2 or 3 we saw at sometimes this season. And like I said, I want to just keep going back to Ramsey versus Evans. If Ramsey is as good as we think he is, if he's as good as he thinks he is, I think he can mark Evans out of this game. And then I think Brady just doesn't have enough targets, enough dogs to work for him. And then when we're looking at this over-under, it's 48.5. I like the over. I know a lot of people are predicting like 2017, 24-20. Not me, man. Even though I think Brady starts slow, even though I think the first half starts kind of like a sparring session, I think this game tilts in the second half. I think we see a big plays from the Rams. And like I said, I'm preparing for one Stafford turnover that will add adversity to this game. And when you do turnovers in the playoffs, the other team normally comes back with 6. That's just how it is. And that's why I think it's going to push towards the over. I'm feeling pretty damn good about it. The big question, though, is Tristan Wirfs. And even if he plays, man, I don't think he's going to be healthy at all. And I think that's going to be a liability. I think Aaron Donald, Von Miller, I think they're the catalyst for this game. It's not sexy. We all want to talk about Cooper Kupp. We all want to talk about Tom Brady. But that's the big part of my analysis. I got Rams +3, win and cover, and I got the over in the 48.5. Let's get this money. Live calling show Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm looking forward to hearing your guys' opinions. I always like hearing your guys' opinions on Friday. It's my favorite show. Let's get paid.